through some circumstances, ended up having success my senior year in high school, really not even before then, to the point of having an opportunity to play sports beyond high school. And two things happened: blew out a knee, although it got fixed as best it could, and had a sister that was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia, who at that time had about a 30% chance to survive. So it was a quick shift to saying, okay, wait a minute, thank you, Mom and Dad, for making me get good grades, not realizing that getting the good grades was helping me in the sports world. And that the coaches that saw me doing so well in the classroom started to say, well, even though he's small, he's someone that we can put into a position, cornerback, point guard, keep him away from the big guys, but he's going to play good defense. He's going to make the right pass, that type of thing. That all of a sudden, when my sister looked at me and said, well, you're going to walk on the baseball team because I'm going to be just fine. You know, between the two of us, you know, you were going to go play college football, and now you can't, and you're never going to get to play basketball again, which was your favorite sport. So I'm going to be fine. Promise me you'll go out. So having those types of people around you made it easy to walk on the team. Like you said, there were 7 or 8 outfielders. I was like the 6th or 7th of those 7 or 8. But then really focus on what can I do to help this team this year, and never thinking beyond that. And my whole goal was to do the best I could. And our team ended up being just below 500, but by the middle of that year, I was starting in center field, and I ended up leading the team in hitting. Not home runs, not RBIs. But you fast forward 3-4 years later, and all of a sudden, Mike Huff is the career holder for stolen bases, the career holder for triples, fast guy, career holder for walks, single season and career. Wasn't until my junior year that the coach came up right before I went to Cape Cod and said, Mike, you know what, you have a chance to get drafted. And I looked at him, I'm like, Coach, there's no wars going on. What are you talking about? He's like, no, baseball. And I'm like, wait, we got Joe Girardi, Dan Grunhard, Marty Clary, John Troutwine, all guys that played in the major leagues. We had Grady Hall, who was I'm like, I'm not even the captain. Never was a captain. He goes, no, but what you do real well. And I think it goes back to answering the question. I just focused on what I could do at that level to help that team win. And if I did that well enough, there would be a chance to play at the next level. Subsequently get drafted, go to rookie ball, leading off, batting 9th, 16th round draft choice. We've got Mike Devereaux, the 3rd rounder from Arizona State. We've got Mike Waters, the 4th rounder from Michigan. All these guys. End of the year, I end up hitting 315, 320, stealing 35 bases, playing a really good defense. And I guarantee, I've heard the story that they would go to the winter meetings, major leagues, AAA, AA, get to rookie ball, and everywhere I was playing, I'm like, all right, let's go through the team, and they get to Huff. What did he do? Well, he hit over 300. And he stole 35 bases. And played a great defense. All right, so is he a prospect? Not really. Well, do we get rid of him? No. Let's just move him up a level. And next thing you know, I'm doing that in AAA and getting that first cup of coffee with the Dodgers. But even with the Dodgers being the Dodgers that had more money than anybody, it was asking them, okay, you're not really going to give me a chance, but Northwestern, double majoring, computer science, industrial engineering, maybe I need to get on with life. Could you take me off the roster? And when they did, that's when Cleveland picked me up, said, we think you can play half a year with Cleveland. And then they said, well, we think this other center fielder we have is going to be better, Kenny Lofton. And I'm like, okay, yeah, he's a little better. But the White Sox ended up saying, no, we like the little things he can do. So ended up then playing for the 2.5 years with the White Sox. And in 92 was the opening day right fielder. 92 got injured again. But 93 was basically Bo Jackson's legs. So Bo had the hip replaced, and I was going out to play defensively if we ever had a lead. By the end of that season, we'll talk about that cute story next, but that's when Toronto was moving this behemoth hitter named Carlos Delgado out to left field. And they said, we love what Huff does. Just, we're going to trade for him because if we ever have a lead, 7th inning, 6th inning, if Carlos third at bat gets a walk or hit, you're going to pinch run for him because A, you're faster, but then you're going to play defensively and help hold the lead. And that played for 3 more years. So somehow, from a guy that was like the tiniest person growing up, 7 years in the major leagues, and part of it was, I think, going back to along the way to your question, I tried to focus on what I could do at that point. I tried to say, how can I be the best teammate, the best player for that team? Because if I did good enough at that, I knew I would have a chance to play next year. And if I ever didn't give it my all, that's where I was afraid that the fun journey of playing a sport with my friends was going to end. And I never wanted to see it end, because that just being outside and running around was just so important to me.